Your light just cut out mid-take. Was it the bulb, the cable, or did you blow a fuse? Literally. If you're shooting on location, knowing if the house runs on circuit breakers or fuses can save your gear and a lot of hassle. So what's the difference? Well, circuit breakers are actually switches that trip when there's been a power surge or an overloaded circuit. They're reusable, so just flip them back on once the issue is fixed. Fuses, on the other hand, are single use. When there's an overload, the filament inside melts, causing the power to stop altogether, which is what happens in a breaker when the switch flips. So how do you know which one you're dealing with? Well, on a tech scout, always locate the main breaker box or panel in the house. When you see switches in a row, then that's a breaker box, and if you see round metal, glass, or often ceramic knobs, then those are fuses. This is important because some homes, especially outside major cities, still use fuse boxes, so don't assume immediately that you're working with the breaker box. This really matters for gaffers and cinematographers because if you're using HMI or tungsten lights that really draw heavily, you might be drawing close to the actual amp limit of each circuit. With breakers, if you cross a line, the switch just falls, you reevaluate your load, flip it back on, and you're good to go. But with fuses, if you blow it, that's a wrap on that circuit until it's fixed. And with some locations, especially rented, you're not even allowed to touch the box itself. So what you can do is you always ask early to check what that location actually has. The answer you get really affects how aggressive you can be with the power supply on set. Secondly, always prepare for the worst case scenario of failure. Imagine that something does go wrong and you're in a remote location. What are you going to do if you don't have access to the on-location power? This small mistake can turn into a long delay and a lot of money wasted on location. Third, always be conservative with your loads. Always calculate paper loads rather than actual loads and make sure you're always underdrawing. And finally, know the electrical plan of the location even if you're not the gaffer. You don't need to wire anything, but you need to know where your power is coming from, what appliances share a circuit, and what happens if it fails. That awareness alone prevents a lot of problems and things that could go wrong.